How do you have issues communicating with your team? Sometimes you said you were instructing to make a task, but they ended up doing another thing, or they don't do anything what you expect. It's one of the common issues that we have with our teams, right? I remember one time was requested a task for my team to hire some people, right? The instruction was not very clear, right? They hire, they requested to hire like 20 people, but the other later they say 30, they say 40, but at the end the instruction was not very clear, right? And we didn't know when was the deadline when we have to hire the people, right? Uh, After a week, when our leader said if we had ready the people, we didn't have anything, and nobody knows what was the real task. If these people was bilingual, or these people was for human resources, or work for workforce, or work for operation, right? Um, at the end of the history, we didn't do anything, and as a team, we didn't work, right? Uh, and then I like to talk about how we can improve our communication with our team and we're more effective, right? For example, if you're gonna do it a meeting with if you had a task with your team, you need to be clear and specific what you want, what you expect, right? For that, you need to make a meeting, right? Right now that we have this problem with coronavirus, it's a little harder now we used to do before, right? Sometimes you type in your computer on your email, you type on me and a message to your team, and they never answer, or they answer 30 minutes, 1 hour late, because they had some issue with the internet or something that could impact them, and they don't we were able to answer, right? Well, the first thing that we need to make is to make a meeting, right? Make your meeting on Outlook, or use a group by Skype or Teams or any platform that you think that's better and according to your team, right? And then make sure everyone understands that we have meeting, and ask to everyone which one is the best time, and everyone has time to do it. What happens if some of them doesn't have the time and they cannot meet 2 or 3 people? Well, what we can do is record the meeting, so they can see it later, and they know exactly what is the task, right? If you need to make it very specific in the task that you're gonna do it, explaining why we have to make this task, or why it's important, and what is the deadline. Also explain or assign the task to everyone. Juan need to do this, and Maria need to do that, right? Why it is important to to address and say what is the owner of every task, right? Because we are a team, and as a team, we need to work together, right? If someone doesn't make the task and the deadline that we need to do it, well, we had problem because it's not that one didn't do the task or Maria didn't do the task. It's that the whole team, it will get impacted, right? Another thing that you need to do as a manager is to make a follow-up, right? If you make a project and you can give all instruction, but if you don't make a follow-up, your task will have issues, your project will have issues, right? So we as a manager will face situation where we have to push up a little bit our team, right? But it's not to push them, it's to communicate with them and explain them why we need to make this task correctly, right? Another thing that is very important at the end of the meeting is to make a minute, right? Explaining what we spoke, what we expect from our team. Because if we don't make something right, They say, ah, it was not told to me that we have to do that, and you will start to fighting with your team. And that is not the idea. The idea is that everyone work in team. If you are the leader of your team, you need to make sure everybody works, right? And you need to be the example then, right? And the best way to be an example is to follow it up. Okay, Maria, it happened 3 days. What's going on with this word, with this stats? It's easy for you. You need more time. You need some help. There's something that I can help you with. So in that way, we will improve our communication with our team, and it's something that is gonna help us to be the best.